Boom! This episode of Talks with KG is sponsored by CARNIVAL Cleaning Services. Quality service at all times. Located out of New York, serving all 5 boroughs. They have been in business for over 15 years. Services include cleaning of schools, cleaning of hospitals, cleaning of houses. It don't really matter. Just link up with CARNIVAL Cleaning Services. Their number is 917-200-4362 or email carnivalenterprise.com. Also, Jave Auto AC, located number 182 Eastern Main Road, El Dorado, for all your AC needs. Right now the sun hot, so Jave AC is definitely a spot. Boom.
Very well vexed, you know. I reached home yesterday after all that rain. You know, my whole roof blew off. Everything get wet and mashed up. And my girl leave me.
Serious? But why she leave you?
Well, she was in the house too. She blew away with the roof.
Oh, but you should have insurance, but
Nah, I don't own the place now. I rent it. So
renter's insurance, you never hear about that?
No, you telling me that, dog? Oh, gosh.
Alright, hold on, relax. Look, amalgamated insurance brokers right down the road there. Look, you will go fix it up.
Here, right there?
Yeah.
Hi, good day. Oh, sorry. Hi, good day.
Hi, good day. Welcome to Amalgamated Insurance. How can I help you today?
So it is, right? My whole roof blew off from all that rain. I want to make sure that never happen again. What you could do for me?
Oh no, so sorry to hear that. So here's what, right? We have a renter's insurance policy that will cover all your general contents, furniture, electronic items, jewelry, all the works. Sounds good, right? This protects you from things like burglary, fire, burst pipes, and all natural disasters.
Okay, well, that sounds good. Sign me up now. As I'm here, what other insurance types do you offer? Because I want to make sure that they have no other surprises in store for me, you know?
We offer all types of insurance for individual and commercial clients, from sole traders to industry giants. And we also offer property, motor, marine, group health, and everything else at competitive rates.
Sign me up for everything except marine. I hear better to use a friend boat than to own one.
Welcome to another episode of Talks with KG, where we keep it real and nothing else but real. And you see this one here? This one is a extremely special one to me. Why this one is a special one to me is because when I start Talks with KG, the reason why I started was because I realized that it had a missing space when it comes to the local arts, the industry. You know, I realized that we needed proper journalism. I remember going to radio stations as an artist, and they would just ask me like, what's my favorite color? You know, and when was the first time I write a song, and nothing to really elevate my career. But I would also look at the Jamaican industry and the American industry and the UK industry, and I would realize that journalism had a huge part to do with artists and the whole culture on a whole, the development on a whole of the culture. And I felt like Trinidad and Tobago was missing that space. Hardcore journalism is a real thing, and I realized that a lot of artists, a lot of people in the culture just run from it, you know, and I never understood why, you know. But tonight, you know, I have the pleasure to interview international culture journalists. You know, JLova, you know, Miss Viral right now. I know right now they're saying, KG and JLova, die trouble. You understand? But real is real, and you know, we just keep it real always. You know, so I want to introduce to the platform, JLova.
Ah, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
A two-one way.
Big up yourself all the time. So, you know, we have a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot.
We have to unpack it like a
lot
suitcase.
of things. Now, the first time I ever saw you on a whole was the Aki 5.0 interview, right? And I remember seeing that and saying, who's this woman, boy? Like, I was so fascinated. I don't know if you remember them days, Chinese, but them days, because I was talking about a lot of things
Right.
in the industry too.
Yeah.
I had a lot of questions, You know, I had interviewed Orlando Octave, you know, I had interviews with so many different artists that always had a complaint
Yeah.
about the way that things were ran,
Okay.
you know, in the local industry. But nobody wasn't coming head on, you know, and saying, hey, we would always hear people talk about the politics of the industry,
Yeah.
but that would be like a street talk. That would be something underground. When in the
Okay.
studio with your friends, you would be like, so and them fighting the thing, and but it was almost like speaking out and asking questions like, why this is happening. It was like abomination.
Right.
You know, even today we just still see it. And when I saw you for the first time, and I saw the angle you were coming at now, I was like, this is what we need.
Yeah.
But a lot of people take, you know, they like that. They say you like bacchanal,
Isn't that
pollution to the industry, you know. A lot of things we're going to talk about, you know. I'm telling you.
Pollution to the industry,
They
and
say,
I like
they say, stay away from her. She, she's trouble.
Yeah.
So, JLova, for the people who do not know who
Yeah.
you are,
Yeah.
let's start from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Who is JLova?
Who am I? I love that question. First of all, thank you for having me. I'm usually the
course.
one interviewing, and
True,
so
true.
now to be
It's our
interviewed,
pleasure.
it's
It's
a
our
very
pleasure.
different space. I mean, I'm definitely loving the vibe. Who am I? I am an international culture journalist. I have been in media for about 15 years. I've been on air talent primarily with Tempo Networks
Yeah.
for the past 10 years. Tempo turns 20 this year, so bop.
Big up
And for
Tempo,
those
boy.
who don't know, Tempo was actually born out of MTV,
I
Viacom.
know Tempo.
Tempo's-
I grew up watching Tempo.
Let me tell you
I'm
something.
telling
Tempo's
you.
CEO was the head of litigation
Yeah.
over in MTV Viacom, and he not only did he create the station, but then he then bought it from them. And his particular goal was to represent the Caribbean. And so I started to work as his executive assistant,
Yeah.
and literally just climbed all the way up the ranks to now today somebody who is one of his most trusted thought partners. Shout out to the girl who said that he should fire me, because never.
Right. So those interviews that you do it is
Yeah.
Tempo interviews.
Yeah, those interviews that I do are for the station, led by me, right? And like I said, me and Mr. Tempo are thought partners in terms of how to do things. He understands, the journalistic integrity that I have and that the station has to uphold. And he also lets me run free. About 10 years ago, I started to have a conversation with him about soca as a genre, because what was being said was that soca was not a genre. And so I went and I bought the URL www.socaisAgenre.com, and I made a flag, right? And I made a logo. And when I went to islands like the British Virgin Islands and anywhere I went to, St. Martin, we were just flying that flag. So we on boats, I have video of that, just flying that flag. And in parties in Trinidad, and just talking about soca is a genre. And so I've always had conversations with artists, that had some journalistic integrity, that were intellectualizing the culture. It's only now it seems like it's a bacchanal thing, because I'm speaking to the wider industry. And so sometimes when you speak to the wider industry who are not culturally inclined, right, or who are not able to articulate the culture in a way that can uplift it, you find that now you get bacchanal responses, or you get responses that might be true, that might be knocking on our door, that nobody want to open. And so that's what's been happening. But I've been interviewing people like Marshall Montano and Bungie Garlin. And let me tell you, first of all, when, as a journalist, when you talk to someone who gets it,
Right.
they teach you something.
It's
When I
a real
speak
thing.
with Marshall Montano
Yeah, because
and
now,
Bungie,
because now it becomes a conversation.
oh my gosh, it becomes
It
like,
becomes communication.
you start to feel like,
Yeah.
this is it.
Yeah.
This is it, because you're not fighting
Correct.
to like teach this person what the culture is.
Right.
They are automatically just helping you, and it flows better, right? And so I think it's important to understand too who you're talking to. But I think what's really important is that everyone who's a part of the ecosystem understand what cultural relevancy really means, and what we have is something special here. So that's what I've been doing for the past few years. Other than that, I'm also a businesswoman. I have all kind of things going on, but I just really want to talk about the culture.
Right. So I was not going to ask you. So
Yeah.
that was really your mindset coming into the industry, as in
Yeah.
what, like to articulate the culture?
You know what? It was really about representing the Caribbean. As a black woman, I mean, I'm American born, but I was raised in Trinidad since I was 2 years old. So I'm culturally Trinidad and
I'm
Tobago.
trying to figure out like what accent you have, and I can just.
It's an international accent because
don't know
I'm
what
an
it is.
international traveler.
It's not American accent. It's all Trinidad in it too, but it just sounded like something.
In the industry, they call it, like, I guess, an international accent. And it happens, I think, naturally when you travel, when you move around. You know, I mean, don't get me vexed, I'll cuss you like a Trini.
Of course.
You feel what I'm saying? Period. But I think just naturally, my natural tone is this is the way I speak.
So your parents
You know?
are Trinidadian?
So my father is a Trinidadian and my mother is an American.
Oh, okay.
And so most of my family, of course, in his side is Trinidadians, and I was growing up here. I mean, nobody could test my nationalism. I know the pledge. I could spell Chagramas and Chagonas. You understand what I'm saying? And I wouldn't even flinch, right? But I think for me, it was like, you know, when I think about the Caribbean, I think about the gem that we have and who we are and how small but mighty we are, right?
Definitely.
And so when I think about us and our vibrancy, I think, you know, coming into Tempo, it was a natural alignment for me. So I'm always about how can we channel and challenge our cultural representation. And, you know, island people, we're everywhere in the world. People love our vibe. And then when you add to that again, being a Trinbagonian, I mean, that is just
Of course.
like the level of appreciation that I feel, of love that I feel when I walk out in this space and somebody say, where you're from? And I'll be like, I'm a Trinidad and
It's a
Tobago.
British joy.
It's like, I mean, I just have a great sense of pride. I think that's what Trinidad and Jamaicans bring. We are the most prideful in the region.
No joke.
And so I just want to amplify who we are. And it was never about just about one culture. It was about all the different cultures.
Sure.
And I do that especially when I'm in different spaces. So when you see me in spaces like I'm in the British Virgin Islands or I'm in St. Martin, I am amplifying their culture. So while I'm here, I'm amplifying our culture.
Right.
You know?
So, all right, people would look at you like this journalist that comes with these straightforward type of questions, right?
Okay.
Now, as I say, the first time I ever saw you was with the Acting 5.0.
Yeah.
Were you that type of journalist even before that? As in,
Yeah.
like, was asking these questions that artists may be like, was she asking me?
Yeah.
You were always that type of journalist?
You know what? It was, I was definitely not the journalist to ask you what color you like. Right? Unless I was doing like some type of trend or something, right? But I have only really been talking to artists who are able to articulate themselves. So people like Nyla and Nadia and Patrice, like I said, Bungie, even Fayan, you know, Kess, Marshall. These are the people that I've been talking to. But what I started to realize over the years was the conversations about music suppression, what we would call AKA the Soca Mafia. Right?
So you were seeing these or hearing these conversations?
Yeah, I was hearing conversations. I was also feeling like if I had ran out of comfortable conversation, right? And what I wanted to understand was how do we now grow this industry at a time when it was being diluted. So what really was happening was my videographer team also lives in the UK. And he was like, you need to come to Notting Hill. And then a few years ago, I heard that Notting Hill was only playing other kinds of music. They were playing dancehall, they were playing Afrobeats. And so there was a conversation about, is this carnival or is this a street parade? Right? And so I said to myself, I don't know if I'm going to go to Notting Hill. Because when I think carnival, I think Trinidad. I think the representation
Soca
of the
music.
culture. So I was like, I don't think I'm going to go there. Then I went to Miami Carnival. And I said, but where's this? Then I went to Jamaica Carnival. And I said, this is interesting. And I think that's when I first started to realize that everyone wants the vibe.
What was interesting?
What was interesting was the fact that there was a lot of dancehall, which I understood because we were in Jamaica. So you can't be in somebody's country and not hear their music. True. But what I felt was they want our vibe, but they don't want our music.
And when you say they, you're talking about the...
I'm talking about what I experienced in Jamaica and what I felt. And when I say the vibe, I mean there is something that comes with carnival.
True.
Right? There is a sexiness.
Yeah, freedom.
There's beauty, there's pageantry, there's energy, there's freedom, right? There's you know, like you know how you feel when you hear music, when you hear soca. That's something that you don't feel when you hear another genre. Now, not saying that you don't feel anything when you hear reggae,
No, I know
dancehall,
exactly what you mean,
Afrobeats,
but there's a
but
more
there is
euphoric type
something.
of,
Oh my God, there's an intimacy between a man and a woman when they're dancing.
Soca music is soca
For
music.
soca.
Sweet soca music is
Correct.
sweet soca music.
But what I was experiencing was you want that vibe,
Right.
but you don't want that music.
Right.
And for me, that's a problem.
Right.
Because the pulse and the heartbeat of Carnival is soca. Okay? So I said to myself, I say, you know, I don't think Jamaica is a market for me during Carnival.
Right.
Right now, I also have a travel show called Come Visit. So all that other stuff, I'm here for it. One Caribbean.
Right.
I'm with that. But when it came to that, I didn't feel that vibe. So what happened is last Carnival, this Carnival that just passed here in February.
Trinidad Carnival.
I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. Yankee Boy went on a strike.
Right.
Right?
That's the
This is
the
what
bacchanal.
starts the curiosity
Yeah.
for me in a way that, now I know Yankee Boy for years. And, you know, I like the guy, but I don't like some things that he represents and the way that he represents the culture sometimes, right? But he has matured, so I allow him, you know?
He has matured.
Yeah, he has matured. And what happened was, he had gone on a hunger strike.
Yes.
Because there was an event called One Caribbean, which Cartel was supposed to head right in the middle of Carnival, which was absurd. How could you, right? So you want to capitalize off, right, of the season,
Right.
but your headliner is a Jamaican artist, but you're saying it's 80% soca artist. So you're flooding the back end, right, with soca artists. So Yankee Boy get called. And when he got called, all of a sudden the hunger strike was over.
Right.
So I was having an interview with him about that, right? And I realized that I was more passionate than my journalistic integrity at the time,
Right.
right? So I never aired the interview because I wanted to protect him as well, right? In the space, because I felt like he wasn't completely clear about what his position was, right?
You didn't air it.
I didn't air it. I still have it. I look at it and I laugh sometimes because it's funny. But what happened with that was I started to have off-camera interviews, conversations with artists. And I realized that there was a secrecy that was happening,
Right.
right? That I didn't particularly, I wasn't aware of, because when I reach out to a promoter to come to their event, it's not to come online, right? I come to work.
Right.
You're going to see me ready to go with my camera crew, and I couldn't tell you who performed unless I might run out and see something and come back.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But I'm always there working, and any artist and any DJ and anybody could tell you that. It's always me, the only woman, and the groupies. Sometimes you have a little blogger or something, but it's really, I come to work. I ain't come to line. Baby, I know how to line, right?
yeah.
So what happened was, after we had that conversation, I said, you know what? Let me really gauge what's happening here in terms of this industry. Who am I going to be here? Is soca really a genre? How does it come to a genre?
Right.
And in a matter of moments, I started to now have conversations that was about that. So there was other artists there who I hadn't seen for a while, who wasn't performing really plenty. And I was like, well, how does that make you feel? When one year you up and next year you down?
Yeah, like what type of industry is that?
Like, where do you see yourself? How does this grow? How does this change? Where's the work ethic coming from? Like, I was just curious about the business,
Right.
right? And it so happened that as I was running through my interviews, like I tried to do in the beginning of Carnival before everybody lose their voice, and there I saw Akeem. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really know him. I've just seen him. I've just seen him online.
Right.
Like with Trinidad Killer. And all them thing is funny, you know.
Right,
Trinidad
right,
Killer
right.
like to cuss out people, and
Yeah.
it be real peacock, right? So we laughing, but I'm interviewing a lot of people, and mostly I just interview artists. And I said, let's hear a DJ perspective, you know. And as I'm talking to him, I had just heard the Orlando Octave song.
Table. It was table.
It was
Yeah.
and the song went like, if all he bringing to the table is what is under his navel, you better leave him,
Right.
right? So I was having a conversation about how DJs basically choose the songs to play.
Yes.
And he told me he wasn't a DJ. And I believed him because I didn't really know him. So again, I thought he was like a mic man or something. Whatever.
But he is a DJ.
Well, I found that out afterwards.
But anyway, yeah.
So when he said that to me, we laughing or whatever.
Right.
And I said, how do you pick some songs? Because like I go into parties and I'm hearing the same songs. What about this song? He said Orlando Octave is his good friend. But that song is not getting no traction because people don't like it. He tried, he played, and people don't like it. And he don't want to play no song that is against man.
Yeah.
And then music suppression.
Yeah.
That is what that is because the song is catchy, right? So, I mean, it just kind of raised my curiosity.
Yeah, it must raise your curiosity. I think it raised everybody's curiosity at that point in time. That is why it became such a big topic now, boy, because people were seeing it blatantly.
Well, somebody said it for the first
know?
time. So,
Yeah.
so the quote-unquote idea of the soca mafia became real because someone verbalized it,
Yeah. Do you believe in a soca mafia?
I do not believe in a soca mafia because I think one of the things that Akeem said too is good music cannot be suppressed. However, I do believe that there are many forms of music suppression, right? And so I think that there is programmatic suppression, right, where certain types of music is played or programmed to push an artist or to push a vibe. A lot of DJs are affiliated with artists or would like to maintain their relationships with artists. And I get that. It's a form of nepotism, but it is a form of programmatic suppression. And then there is the other, and of course there's many types of suppression. But now what I experienced is this new type of suppression, which is called, it is cultural substitution, which is where you playing the music, but then you're adding other types of music because you're saying nobody wants to hear that and the crowd ain't moving. So you add different types of popular music to overshadow that, to mix in, which is what I experienced while I was in Tobago, right?
Well, as in like when they use like what is zest or something.
Well, which is like, and I'm going to be honest with you. I have come to love and respect that Zest Trinidad movement because it was born out of a certain level of strife.
Definitely.
That soca was born out of. Okay, a resistance. Even that calypso was born out of, right? And not only that too, is we thing. These are our artists who doing real.
That young people too.
I mean, it is something where, we are intergenerational society, yeah? So even though the same is the young people thing, usually these types of genres are birthed from a younger generation, but it doesn't mean that older people don't like a Swanee or don't like, some of the other artists that are coming out or don't enjoy the steam and things like that, right? Like, because those things are enjoyed. Who don't like Lady Lava? Queen of the Freaks?
It's all right.
Who don't like Young Brother?
But this take me to this now, right? As we
Yeah.
censor, because with the whole video which you and
The
Kevin,
current one, right.
Kevin X, right?
Right.
And you was very upset that he was playing dance or
Yeah.
whatnot,
Okay,
right?
so let's not personalize it because I want to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't know Kevin X.
Right.
Until the day after that video dropped,
Yeah.
I couldn't pick him out. I still can't pick him out of a lineup. I couldn't tell you who this man is. I've never been on his, I don't know him, right? But what happened was I was filming, right? And we had just wrapped up filming. And so I was walking through the crowd, right? Catching a vibe is last lap. You're outside. Now, what happened was in Juve, I was in a band for Juve, and I started to hear dancehall. And I think that first triggered me because I was surprised. Because I think if I'm anywhere else, it wouldn't matter, but I'm in Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
Right? And so for me, in Trinidad, you would never. And I hope you would never, and you should never. But in Tobago, I felt it would be the same thing. I've been covering Tobago Carnival since its inception, and I've been on the ground sharing, and people are now discovering it, and it now seems like,
So back then there was not plenty dancehall.
No.
That's soca music.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And also, it was very small. Tobago Carnival exponentially blew up this year. The numbers are going to come out very soon. It exponentially blew up. There were several jumbo jets going back and forth. Myself was on a jumbo jet with all of the artists and all of the DJs, right? And it started me to think. But anyway, let me tell you what happened. So I'm in Juve, I heard it, and I made a video. POV, I just want to hear soca. I didn't even know that the video was going to trend like that. But I saw how I was feeling. I let it go and I'm minding my business. And this wasn't the conversation that I was having in Tobago. As a matter of fact, the conversations that I was having in Tobago was about the amplification of Tobagonian artists.
Right.
Because
Playing more Tobago artists.
Playing more Tobago artists. How do artists transcend from one to the next? I'm always in Tobago. So I also cover jazz. And what I saw in jazz was they put on the Tobagonian artists first. And then they bring the big dogs like Brian McKnight. And he did not shell down the place. Adana shelled down the place. Right? And so I found that was a very interesting kind of, scenario. I said, but Tobago have something.
So would you say, so you are against dancehall playing in Carnival, period?
One time,
Yeah,
100%. As long as you are in, and let me be so clear, as long as you are in Trinidad and Tobago, okay, when you play dancehall, you are culturally substituting our music because you can't tell me you don't have enough. It have years and years. So what happened is this, and I'm going to tell you, and everybody knows this. So I'm going to tell you what happened. So now I'm on the road. I just finished filming, and it's Carnival Sunday on Tobago. And I'm walking and I hear dancehall, right? And immediately, I am 100% emotional because I fully understand that this is wrong, right? Because what we're doing now is we are diluting the culture. So let me tell you what happened.
But you really think like a really diluting it, though?
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you why.
Right.
I'm going to tell you why.
I have a balanced perspective on it now. I agree with you.
Yeah, well.
But at the same time, I just have a perspective of...
Hold it for a second and let me tell you what happened. and I'm going to tell you what happened, right? Because right and wrong don't change, right?
Yeah.
There is no balance when it comes to cultural representation, right? Because nobody else does it, right? Everybody's for them and for what they have.
But you don't think it have a reason for that?
Well,
I just plain devil's advocate.
Well, there's a lot of reasons.
Because a balance now.
Well, there's a lot of reasons.
Let us say, for instance, I just being devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Like it have this conversation, and you could explain this to me.
Yeah.
The youths and them don't like soca.
Okay.
Why they don't like soca? Is it because of what you are saying, as in like the people who supposed to really be turning the wheel, the fucking up, or the music just not that level that where you could play a dancehall in any arena and people would love it.
Very good.
But like the soca now is like, what's stopping the soca from, relating to the people like me or, like that vibe? Because it have reasons, I think it have reasons.
Let's break it down fine.
Yeah.
But I wanna drive back because right, I want us to have a ADHD conversation. All right. So what happens is I'm on the road and so I make the video about who are the guardians of soca, because at this point, whoever playing the music, whoever on the mic, they ain't got in the culture. So who are the guardians of soca? I also own the domain www.guardiansofsoca in all forms. Order a t-shirt. That's a joke, but it's real. So
your mic on, right? I thought I see light was on.
So I make the video and I'm of course highly emotional. I'm like, who's the guardians of soca? Listen to this. I put the phone down and immediately I hear the mic man say, we are breaking the rules.
Like what you say?
We are now going to be playing dancehall and soca. All I hear was saying, we breaking the rules. We going and play dancehall and soca. And immediately, I am enraged because something is wrong here. Because now you have admitted that there is a rule to break. And there is a rule. And we all know this rule, whether we talk it or whether we ain't talk it.
But is it really a rule?
It is a rule if you say you're going to break it.
No, I mean...
You understood it's a rule. You understood it. It is a boundary. It is, if we are not protecting something, right, we are diluting it, we are changing it, we are moving the course. And I'm going to show you what the ecosystem is of that, right, and how detrimental that is. So then I walked up to the mic man. And I said, where's that one?
That is the same
it's
video.
Carnival.
Oh, they after you put on the phone or there's the video?
Well, so no, so I'm in the video. I made Guardians of Soca video, right? I take it off and I hear...
we breaking the rules.
I hear breaking the rules.
So now you get more mad.
I put on my phone because I'm like, who's the Guardians of Soca? It's actually a longer video. I cut it. Right? And I was like, who are really the Guardians of Soca? Well, let me see. Right? So I am going over. And the thing is, my phone is really kind of down. But you know when you're talking with your hand, your phone kind of come up. Now, what happens is, I say, well, well, where's that one? Now, of course, you know, music playing, truck, everything, whatever. And I was like, but what about this? Like, it's Carnival.
Yeah.
And his question to me is, did you hear Dancehall on the road today?
Yeah, that's the first time I heard dancehall.
Right?
Yeah.
And I said, wait, what? Because at this point, I'm also trying to process.
Yeah, like what you trying to say?
Like, why are you asking me that?
Yeah.
Right? And then he asked me again, and of course now I understand because he's not the only one who's doing it. So
Right.
he's already feeling targeted. Maybe in that moment he recognizes who I am, whatever it is. But remember,
And you're also saying this is a regular thing.
it's
We just play
you're
soca
saying
in this. We play dancehall and soca.
You're making it acceptable.
Party. Right.
So then I say yes, and he says, so then where's the problem then? I don't care. And you could put me up, I don't care. Right? And at that point I walk off, he says whatever he says, and another DJ, striker, whatever, is like, listen, I know you. It's like, you know, like it's okay. And and at that point my brain is literally on fire because I'm like, this is not okay.
Right.
First of all, we are in Tobago. We have already suppressed the Tobagonian artist, right? Because we have not heard them on the road. Only time I hear a Tobagonian artist was Juby because he was on a truck. Right? And I just so happened to be there.
And I find that worse, to me, that worse than playing dancehall. That you in the people in them place and not playing the music.
And
That more disrespectful.
And that was the conversation.
That bad man thing. It had no bad people in Tobago. So it had no bad man in Tobago. Because that bad man thing.
And
that mafia.
That's how the conversation
You go and
started.
next man land.
To tell them that their music isn't good enough.
And them fellas can't get
at all.
A forward.
At all.
Not Tobago, nah.
Absolutely.
Tobago have to make
Absolutely.
a rule. That is breaking a rule. Tobago have to make a rule. For Tobago Carnival to go on, Tobago artists have to get 50% play.
Well,
50% Trinidad, 50% Tobago.
What's the response that I heard when I spoke off camera?
But they ain't gonna talk about that.
Well, they are talking about it because I am talking about it. Because that was the content that I was banking until after the season. So my intent was not to highlight dancehall during Carnival. I did not expect that to happen.
Right.
My conversation was about how do we get these Tobagonian artists played in Trinidad? How do we get all the DJs and all of the artists who come over to Tobago to deposit in Tobago their greatness, their talent, to take it back? How do we get a mentorship with artists from Trinidad with the artists in Tobago? I have interviews where I ask that question that are coming. Right? So that really was the conversation that I was having until dancehall on the road. Right? So where this mic man, well, now I know he's a DJ, said that he was targeted. Baby, I don't even know you.
No, you see, because you're a hit man. You have history of knocking down some birds now.
Well, I mean, all I'm doing is asking
when they see you come in with the rifle, no, but you're real dread too. You're dreading them.
I mean, I'm professional.
You're better.
I'm trained.
When I see that video with you run up on Kevin, I said, they the same lady. She real dread. Like
I am dread.
But I like you. I like you. I like how
I'm dread for my culture.
No, let me tell you, I don't even have to agree with everything that you do or say, but I could still rate you because I understand what you're doing. It's not really a matter if I fully understand what you know, but it's about understanding the plight too now, boy. Yes, and you want to see better for the culture. You might not all the answers.
I don't have all the answers.
Nobody have all the answers, but we had to spark the conversation as you like how you bring up how the Tobago artists them not getting playing.
Absolutely.
That is a problem.
Yeah. And to say that their music isn't good enough.
That
That
is
DJ told me
something to
that.
ignore.
Yeah, how could your music not be
That
good
is
enough?
something to come together now and change and shift and all the DJ them know they want to go on and make the thing better and let men eat and live and everybody.
Yeah.
But you see, and there's a next conversation we could go into because that is the problem that I have now with soca.
Yeah.
Now I come from Trinidad, right? That is where my work come from when it comes to the industry. So big up man like Swanee and you know all the Trinidad artists them, you know, big up Lava, big up Young Brother, big up
all of them.
That's where we come from,
Yeah.
you know, but we know, as I was telling you before, we come from a culture, each one help one. You understand? So as soon as Swanee get he break, he bust Meds boss, then he bust Byron Messiah, then he bring Plumpy, thing and it's 4 or 5 away in Barbados. Thing, though, that's the culture that we push in Trinidad. That's why it has so much artists. There's the most artists you ever see in the history of Trinidad just emerge. You ain't know
At
who.
the same time.
Yes, looking, so you're seeing artists all over the place. Million views, 2 million views, 10 million views, 15 million views. It's a real thing now, boy. And it comes from that type of mindset where it's like, I get a shine, we're trying to create an ecosystem here. Everybody had to live.
Yeah.
Producer, video man. Dog real people, look at man like DJ Pun, he's a DJ, you know, he get his forward, his breakthrough from Trinidad, his community, Lady Lava, young brother, you know. The soca industry now had this very selfish way about them. As in the sense of, if we go in Sealots or we go in the Beatum, it have 3-4 artists linemen, it have a box there on the side, we playing them music because it have artists here.
Yeah.
So as we was talking about the Tobago scene, how you could go in Tobago and don't play no Tobago artist, so you don't have no Tobago artist friend,
Yeah.
you don't have no Tobago artist that you want to see
Nope. They
rise out at Tobago.
They don't.
Or you just want to keep everything for yourself.
Well, it's how they treat Tobago. It's like you treat Tobago as though you're coming to a space where you deposit, right? So what happened is, what I had noticed over the years. Well, here's the thing. When you put on a carnival that has a tourism-based element, right? What you do is you try to mimic the elements of success, right? So when you imitate elements of success, which is what Jamaica has done, St. Lucia, right? Those who have put on carnivals that are not born from resistance, from slavery, right? You bring on a carnival based on tourism. You know Jamaica has 3 carnivals, right? Jamaica has a carnival in Ocho Rios. They have a they have a carnival in Montego Bay.
Like soca
and they
music?
have a no. Like like the ecosystem of money. Right? Because when you bring a carnival, you bring costumes, you bring prettiness, you bring tourists, you bring heads in beds. But you could play whatever you want. It is not built on our ecosystem of cultural relevancy, which is surrounded with the elements of carnival, the stick fighting, the soca music, the calypso music, the competitive nature of the costumes and the music and the sound and the vibe and the energy and the design. You take the elements that can make you money, right? And then you have Jamaica Carnival in Kingston, right? So now what happened is Tobago decided to have their own carnival. So when this happened 4 years ago, I said, oh my God, I have to be there. So you go and it's small. A few people come over, nobody didn't really know about it, right? What happens now over time is that when you bring the elements of success, right? The DJs, the artists, the mass bands. Now, they already had these things before because they were already having a carnival concurrent to the one in February. But now they brought one from a strictly tourism standpoint, but they're also including cultural elements, right? They're mass mud and music. Mud, mass, and music is what they're calling the Tobago Carnival, right? So what happens is now, I started to go to Tobago more frequently since COVID. And I said, there is something here, and I need to amplify the and in Trinidad and Tobago, right? So I started to do different types of shows and talk to certain kind of people. So I was already seeing the evolution. One thing I stumbled upon was something called Soca Titans. Soca Titans is like, for those who want comparison, Soca Monarch, right? It is local Tobagoan artists putting on a show and competing in a competition. It's about 10 artists. So I was actually working on Tobago Channel 5 because even though I'm working for Tempo, I did an affiliation because I want everything that I do to always be organic. I'm never coming to just deliver something and say I'm international. I come in here, but it has to be organic. So what happened is I go in on Tobago Channel 5 and I'm on the morning show called Rise and Shine, and I meet Juby. And Juby is an announcer with Brother B. And Juby says, I have a soca song called Work It. And I heard the song enough on the show to be like, but this song bad. Work it, work it, work it, work it. So Juby enters Soca Titans. He says, come and check me out. And I go and I am there like, wait, what? What is this? Now, for those who travel, when you go to other islands, they have their own calypso version, right? Of whatever their monarch is or whatever their calypso show is, right? And you enjoy it, and it seems a little sometimes local, hyper local, right? But it is what it is, and people love it. But Tobago felt different. Well, number one is home because Trinidad and Tobago. But I said, but something going on here. So every year I went. This year, a man pulled a boat, through a crowd, Kidani. He came second. and his stage presence. I will show you that video that I took. And when I tell you, that man could be on a Soca Monarch stage. Verse, who won second year in a row, could be on a Soca Monarch stage. I'm talking about the level of energy, commitment that they brought to the art form. But you know what was happening simultaneously to Soca Titans? Pavement lime. Pavement lime. So all the Tobagonians over in Titans and all the Trinis who come over on the jumbo jet with me that morning. Down the road and pavement line. Now, I went pavement line afterwards, don't get me wrong. I mean, the road was stink. It was like the Ave. Right? But again, what we did was we landed on Tobago.
Right.
We didn't include uplift. So what I started to do was ask artists, name 3 Tobagonian artists for me.
Me?
I was asking in Tobago, artists, name 3 and DJs. Off camera and on camera.
Wait. You was asking artists.
Trinidad artists.
Oh, Trinidad artists.
Tobago. Name for me 3 Tobagonian artists.
Ooh! You dreaded it.
But I didn't ask them on camera.
You didn't ask them on camera?
No, I didn't.
You should ask them on camera.
No, because
you should ask them on camera.
KG.
That is some great content.
No, but listen to me. You see, I am not trying to scandalize our culture. When you do that and you put a man on the spot, right? You are scandalizing our culture. What you are doing is you are allowing it to be said. They don't know this.
But they really don't know.
I know, but that's not what I want.
To be told.
But listen, but what I want is, I want them to think about it, figure it out, and do better.
But they're not.
Well, listen, I don't want to be
until you put them on camera.
Well, I don't want to be
and now they don't want to back up on them kind of questions again. So they start to learn the fucking culture.
Well, and that's why I was asking before.
The dreading it.
That's why I was asking before, because I wanted to prep. I am not trying to dissolve our culture.
So when I was asking them, they was answering you?
They couldn't.
Wow.
Many couldn't. A few knew just 1 or 2.
And I sure the names they call is like Lady Adana.
They didn't even call Lady Adana.
Wow.
A lot of them said Juby, because Juby is in this space, and Juby's a hustler. Big up to Juby. We are here, okay? So he's a hustler. He in that space. He working 20 times hard. You feel what I'm saying? Because Juby's a force, eh? He's a force. But they didn't really know. I mean, they heard about Verse, because Verse he won the Titans. So they was putting him on shows as openers, right? But then guess what they learned? I even gave them a few. I do all the research for them because my job is not to expose our artists like that. I want the best possible light forward. So I want you to be ready so that when I ask you on camera, that you are ready and that you will make a better commitment for year 5. That when you descend, you are depositing seeds that is going to grow.
It look good for the culture too.
But of course, that is my point. I don't want to be sensationalized. I don't like no bacchanal thing, bro. I out here to look cute, ask great questions, and people be like, that's Trinidad and Tobago. That is my vibe. Amplification. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't trying to bury nobody, bro. But people just bury themselves.
No, but some of them deserve to be buried.
Well, I am not the...
Because we need to get some of them out the way, you know. If we want to really get this thing running how you were, you know, some people have to come out the way.
Well, they will... but listen,
and sometimes we have to expose some of them.
Well, there's natural selection because people expose themselves. Because look at this. Why is there a bacchanal that I ask a DJ in Tobago Carnival to play soca? Why is there a bacchanal that DJ said to me, I don't care? Why is there a bacchanal that a man exposed himself to be a part of music suppression?
You know, I went through that already. Remember that, dog? I ain't going to call the man name again because he went up on the station and he burned mouth.
Oh, God.
We had a conversation and I asked him about, I say, you know, like, how come I don't see soca artists like reaching the levels of other genres of music, you know, winning Grammys, all these things. I say, so you don't think it must have a problem? And he say, KG, I don't care about that, you know. Once my rent pay, when the month come, I don't give a fuck about that.
Okay.
And there's a man who working on the number 1 radio station in Trinidad and Tobago, right? I ain't calling no names.
Is he someone who works outside of the country or inside the country?
In the country.
In the country.
Yeah.
So which means that he works where the money is colored.
Right.
He doesn't work where the money is green.
But basically he tell me he don't really care about he don't care about that. You know?
Right, he don't care about that because...
He just want to pay rent.
Well, there you go.
And I feel like the industry is filled with those types of people now.
Well, there will be people who will not be able to pay their rent if they continue doing this.
Correct.
Okay, so I brought my board
Yeah.
because I say I had to teach people something. So I had to bring a little board, right?
Oh, good.
And so I bring my little pen and paper because I feel like sometimes people in the back need to understand certain
I feel
things,
like
right?
I'm in school.
So I had to write. Right. So this is called the ecosystem of soca.
Right.
This is the ecosystem. This is the ecosystem, right? The ecosystem, for those in the back, is made up of the talent, right? The talent is the artist, the DJs, right? Of course, behind them is the producers, the promoters, but I'm giving you a very high level, a bird's eye view, right? So we'd have to go fine, right? Then you have the promoters. These are the people who help carry the culture. They help carry the culture because of the fact that they have the parties and the events. These are also the mass bands.
Right.
Right? Then you have the patrons, both at home and in the diaspora.
Correct.
This is who the market is really for. Right? These are for the lovers of all things with the culture. So the artists, the DJs, they are playing for them. The promoters need them because that's who paying the bills. So them paying the bills, right? So this is the soca ecosystem, right? Now every genre have an ecosystem. Every genre, right? So for the soca ecosystem, it goes like this. Let's say a man have a party in Miami. The party is soca affiliated. Now let me be very clear. All of these DJs from Trinidad and Tobago are being booked for events that are soca affiliated. If I am wrong, put it in the comments and tell me when Sumfest and when any reggae or rap or hip hop have called any one of these artists to perform. Right? Outside of the big dogs. Right? We're talking about Kes, Budweiser, Marshall Montana creating his own way. Right? The big dogs. But the DJs in particularly, because remember, see the DJs hold plenty power. Because they playing a lot of music. Right? So now they are supposed to be the guardians and the champion of the music. So here's what's going to happen right now. So you decide to, you tell yourself, you know what? It have a hot song right now in dancehall. I like the vibe outside. Young men want flex. Girl want get on bad. I go and run that tune.
Right.
So you play one tune. You like that vibe. Because remember, we are in an energy industry. So we all know what energy feels like. It's adrenaline. It's endorphins. Right? So when you see that now, you say, I go and play a next song. And I go and play a next song. So here's what you do now. You have made it all right. So what now? It is called the soca and the dancehall ecosystem. Right? So when the money is going 100% soca, we're now sharing it with dancehall. Because little by little, what's going to happen is this. When you book 10 soca artists for a show, but you're playing dancehall, people now want to hear the hottest dancehall artists. So now you have
no
8 men.
But to book them.
8 men now, or women, and who doing soca, and you have 2 doing dancehall. And little by little, those numbers shift. Right? So what happens is, you then start to get, well, is it 3 men doing dancehall? 7 men doing soca. That means that somebody 1, 2, 3 songs, people, you ain't getting booking no more. And only people who are the top getting the work. That's the dilution. Then what's going to happen is nobody wants to book my boys. DJ K, DJ A, DJ nobody. Because you know why? Because now they want DJs who specialize in dancehall. Right? So you're still getting the vibe, the free upness, but you don't need the music anymore. So when these guys play dancehall, you allow it to be okay to grow and to become a part of the festivities. That means that they become a part of the money. Right? Now I want to be very clear. Soca don't pay me, but soca does pay a lot of them. Okay? So when these guys get in bookings, it is always a soca affiliated event. At least 98% of the times. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you don't love the very thing that is paying you, who will pay you? Because guess what? The reggae cruise pass, baby, I looked at every single artist and DJ and none of them was soca. Okay, when they're doing Sumfest and Sunsplash, and when they're doing the Hot 97, yeah, you have DJ Young Chow representing, but DJ Young Chow is an internationally recognized DJ, and he also knows that when it's time for soca, it's time for soca.
Young
Men like
Chow.
Kevin Crown,
Yeah.
but all these other guys, they are not that like everybody can be Marshall.
Yep.
It had to have different levels of people, and so these DJs are on that second and third level, right? When it comes to the music and the culture. So if there are no carnivals for you to run to, where do you go? What do you do? And that is how we are breaking up the ecosystem.
Yeah.
So you want to argue with me? You want to argue with me? You want to argue with me? Let me tell you what you're doing. You are decreasing the money in your pocket because you are saying that culturally,
Them
you
don't
have to
feel so.
substitute the music.
Them don't feel so.
Well, they
'Cause
will
men
feel
hustling.
so. Well, listen,
Men
hustle that's
hustling.
done. Hustle that's done.
We have a bandwagonist culture. And we just go with wherever.
And then you will get whatever.
It had no rules.
You will get whatever. Miami Carnival this year, everyone talked about that. There was purely dancehall. Do you know what's going to happen right now? Less DJs, right? You want a year trip to Miami because you ain't traveling all the time.
You want that trip.
Your once a year trip to Miami
Oh,
is
God.
going to now be diluted because they're not going to be calling you as much because you are now sharing the platform with other types of genres, right? And why are you promoting a genre that is not promoting you? Now, let me be very clear about this. When I go to Jamaica, Jamaicans and them love Trinis. Don't get me wrong. The Jamaican man love Trini woman. They love to hear us talk. They love our vibe. And they're also very surprised to know that we know dancehall. Right? I remember a taxi driver saying to me, you know Barris Hammond songs? Because I was singing. How you know that? This is Jamaica. A 3 million plus population. But they are inward. They are inward. Their exposure outward for a lot of people is very limited. They see soca as uptown music for a certain kind of people.
bougie
The
thing.
gays and the
Yeah,
bougie
a
people,
bougie
people who have
thing.
money, because they don't understand this whole wine and woman thing. They have a very...
No, but let's be real. That is what it has become.
Because soca music...
It has...
Soca music has an eliteness about it.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. When you go to a pasa, you see pasa people.
Right.
There is an image, there is a look, there is an identity that goes with that. Right? When you see soca and you see them Trini girl and them,
Royalty.
the elite,
You know,
Way in which-
I like how you break it down, 'cause, you know, I never look at it like that. Like, but from the time you say it, I see it.
correct.
Now, let me be honest about why I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
right? Again, you know, one Trinidad, you know, so we just look at certain things and analyze. So, like the soca industry, for instance, I used to always say, I find like the male artists and them should be a little more, you know, a little more relatable to what the youths and them want to see.
Okay,
You know?
we don't want to see.
You know, they want to see a little chain. You
Okay.
know, a little...
Okay.
I
They want
have
to see richness.
I don't have to explain, but to me, pop culture would always be pop culture.
Right,
You know,
okay.
artists supposed to look like artists.
All right,
You know,
okay.
a lot of soca artists more on the safe side of things.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. But,
Right?
how you now say that, it explains a lot.
There's richness. You ever see Marshall?
It's a different type of thing.
Marshall had on a red and white
Suits.
set.
Right.
He have a kit he does wear, right? And the chain white.
Yeah. Now we're rocking diamonds these days.
but
I see
listen,
man, I say, wow,
but-
I like that, right?
But there is a, listen to me, Marshall is so elite. And
Yeah.
sometimes I will tell you, when I think about Marshall, he has worked so hard
Right.
to pave a road that he may never see the end of. The full glory. You know, like you're going through a road and you know at the end of the road it have something and it's big and bad and bad. And I don't know if he will ever get that. Right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I know men that be talking about Grammy and wherever, and
Right.
you know, that's a standard.
Men trying to reach, yeah.
It's a standard. But Marshall has worked hard. When I tell you Marshall
You think
is
that
a hard worker.
you think that he need a Grammy? You think like
No. I don't think anybody needs a Grammy.
right?
I don't think the Grammy is the gold standard of success.
of soca. The success of soca music.
Well,
too.
here's the thing. If we are not making it a genre, right? If we are not pushing it and being bossy about it, like how other people are bossy about their culture,
Right.
you could tell a man something about reggae and dancehall. You could tell the Dominicans,
What reggaeton and...
listen, and you could tell anybody about bouillon. Okay, listen to me.
You find like we just disrespect soca.
We
I find so
are
too.
disrespectful
I know, let's get
to
myself
soca.
disrespecting soca.
Absolutely. Well, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. I sit on here.
But the way she breaking it down is like,
I
I'm
sit on
feeling guilty now.
here. You
Because like,
got to play Drake.
you know,
Drake?
we just
I don't
really
know Drake.
disrespect the thing sometimes, you know. You know, and we just big up the men them. But it have reasons for that, eh? But
It don't have no reason for it.
But
Kid,
we
because
wrong.
I tell you
No, we
something.
wrong still. We shouldn't
when
be
you
on that
see
too much.
Marshall perform, when you see Bungie, when you see Fayan, when you see Destra, when you hear the chords that Destra
Yeah, bad
and
artist.
Saucy
Big up
just
Destra,
put
bro.
on, okay,
Yeah.
and Fayan.
Ooh, soca defender, you know.
Hey,
She
I'm
right
a
up
guardian of
there.
soca. Let me
She
tell you
ready.
something. When you see them perform, you know that you have seen it. Ain't no
Bob, yeah.
Beyonce or Chris Brown could come better than
It's a
Marshall.
different-
We have to love our artists like we love other people. You understand what I'm saying? Because they're ours. Let me tell you something about Trinidad and Tobago. It have very few. Well, I'm sweating, I know. That's how I feel on the road.
Yeah, of course.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I was drinking. I wasn't even drinking natural. I'm a drink.
Damn.
Let me tell you something. When we are not loving up our culture, right? When we don't understand what we have, let me tell you something. Trinidad and Tobago is a small island compared to the rest of the world. They are smaller islands, don't get me wrong. But let me tell you something about us. We money does run. We are gas, we are oil, right? We women pretty, we men sexy.
Food nice.
We food, listen to me.
Yeah.
Food nice, diversity. Countries have 1-2 dishes. We fighting because we can't done have dishes.
Trinidad is
Then
a
let me tell you
different
something.
place,
Wait a minute. Then we have rum. Then we have the only instrument to be created in the 21st century. And let me tell you something. When foreigners, when them Caucasian people travel to Jamaica and they hear steel pan, that is their affiliation with peace and tranquility.
The Caribbean.
But do they know is we on?
Of course not.
Is we thing?
Of course not.
You understand what I'm saying? So then we have all
No,
that.
but even calypso music.
But of course, listen, one of the first platinum records, okay? Listen,
Calypso is in Mecca.
it is that. And also, Bob Marley had said
Calypso
that
is in Mecca.
reggae comes
No,
from
Calypso is in Mecca.
calypso. So why it is? Why it is?
Why are we fighting it?
Why
Why
it
we
is I
don't love
going
we?
viral?
Why we don't love we?
Why men want to talk
Yeah,
about me
yeah.
and say, you go get what you looking
Yeah.
for. Baby, I go in Malabar tonight. What?
Yeah.
Right? I'm just saying, you want to fight me down
Because
for
you know-
something that paying all,
You
yeah?
know, if a Jamaican did make a video and he walk up to a soca man in a dancehall thing, some fest, and he say, what bumper clad soca you play? Run some reggae music.
Wait,
They'll
first of all,
say,
first
But
of all,
Trinidad, you understand?
first of all,
fuck.
there will never be a soca DJ in Reggae Sumfest. They would never. They would never. It will never happen.
Wow.
Okay, because it doesn't happen because there is cultural appropriation. This is not against any other culture. This is about our culture, right? We have to love the fact that this small island has one of the best, biggest, most recognized carnivals in the world, probably only second to Brazil because they have numbers.
Yeah, numbers, yeah.
But we have penetration. We have brand visibility. Okay? And yet we don't love us. We say it's okay to play a little one dance on the road. It is not okay to play any dance all on the road. I want to hear trained Begonian artists. I want to hear it over and over again. I don't want to hear the same 10 songs because that is your friend. And what I don't want to hear is that nobody know the song, because how you going to know the song if you don't play the song? Okay? It has some songs that get slow for the season, you know. But by the time the season done, you know them songs. Because they done ram it down your throat. And I'm going to also say, run the zest too, because you know why? That is we thing.
Yeah, Trinidad.
It's we thing.
Yeah.
I am all for that. So my point is very, very, very clear.
Push
Are
the
you a
culture.
guardian of soca? You
Me?
a guardian of soca, KG?
I mean, you opening my mind right now to a different perspective. And I appreciate that. Because I real bad talk. So, no. Let me correct myself for real. Because I know people get the wrong impression too. I never bash soca.
Right.
I just like you. So it may come across like I bashing soca. My perspective might be a little harsh because I just call names. I just get real loose sometimes now, boy. But I want to see my music, which is soca music, calypso music. I want to see it rise to the occasion. So even when I say things like, why the artists them do dress a little more fashionable, like how the, that is my perspective.
You ever see Lyrical? Lyrical have
No,
about
but I
7
just wanted
gold
to.
chains,
No, I just call
sexiest man in
certain
soca.
names. I just call certain names. But like Nyla make a video about it where she was just trying to be funny and she was like, why soca artists do floss? Like,
Right.
because to me that is what has make the youths gravitate towards things in the first place,
Yeah.
like the success
I
and the
understand.
lifestyle.
And
of
I
it.
love Nyla first of
You
all
know?
because
Show more than nice scanner,
Nyla.
I think I glad when I see Voicey make little videos with the Range Rover and thing. I
Yes.
like, that what you Voicey
Absolutely.
say now I could drink champagne when
Yeah.
I'm thirsty.
Correct.
Now I could see
Correct.
when he say them words.
And
it
how he making that
inspire
money
the
though?
youths. That's why he went through
Soca.
soca monarchs now rowing because he relate to the ground. I want to see more soca artists relate to the ground. As you say, yes, a little bougie, it elite and all these things, but soca was once very rooted now. When Bungie and them say we from the ghetto, them things used to resonate
No, but
with
soca
the
is still
people
rooted.
now.
But I'm just talking about the brand
I
and the
don't find
image.
so.
There is a vibe.
I find like the music is more gravitated towards a certain palette. And now the ones who supposed to be representing for the ground,
Wait a minute. So listen, what you're saying is a very interesting perspective, and there's a cross section to this, right? Because it is also, you're negating the fact that sometimes what happens is there is called natural selection, right? So in addition to like, there is a competitive nature to the music. So what happens is you find that certain artists get above more, but there are people who have grassroots and are very grounded, right?
Yeah.
In the culture and in the music and the things that they sing about that don't necessarily get the airplay that they deserve, right?
Yeah.
So it is almost like in a few years people may say that about a young brother. They may say that about Lady Lava because of the fact that now their repertoire is big and they are only in a certain space now. They're only talking certain things. They're only on certain types of shows.
True.
These things happen with growth. It is a natural progression, right? But there are so many artists on the ground who are still hungry, thirsty for it, who are still bringing you a grassroots feel. Now, Bungie is a guy who is one of the most talented, diverse artists. Don't even use soca.
Of course.
Artists. He is constantly promoting for soca. You cannot label him anything because he has
Nothing
labeled himself the Viking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's also a man who is married, so he also shows you what unity look like.
Loyalty.
He and his wife, they are gold standard.
Proper role model.
Okay?
Proper
And
role
when he
model.
come out with music, the man shaking from the ground up. When Tong used to carry it, we used to carry it on the ground.
And that's exactly like what I'm talking about.
But
now.
listen, he is also a man who is living in the hills.
Yeah.
He is still in a certain class because he has worked hard. And every single year, he has to prove himself. Do you understand what I'm saying? But what we need to do is do better at loving
we need
our
to see
soca.
more youths now.
Yeah,
Because
be
that's another
mentored.
thing that just keep the ground
Mentorship
vibe
needs
in
to
the
happen.
genre too now, boy, because it need that, as you say, it need that hunger of young artists that want it. So
And
they
do you know
come
where I
in,
saw them? Do you know where I saw this hungry
Soca
artist?
Titan.
I saw them in Tobago.
Yeah, that kind of
I see
vibes,
Kidani. I see Verse. I am giving you that footage because I want you to hear that while I'm saying it right now. Run them.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
We need to
Kidani perform
highlight
like
that.
a stallion.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Juby. I see Juby grow from year to year to year like a stallion. Okay, I see in Verse. Verse is a young kid growing. Adana vocals is like that. But we are not giving it a time because we love other people thing.
Yeah.
Right? We love other people thing. Right? We have
getting
somebody
the time to grow.
Man, listen to me.
Yes, sir.
That's like my girlfriend said before I come here, right? My girlfriend said,
grow. Can you even water in it? You
listen
know
to
that
this,
kind of
right? My girlfriend said, me and you in the market, right? I from here, you from there. Wherever there is, wherever here is, right? And me and both are we selling avocado. And a man come to buy my avocado and I carry him by you. Well, buy one from he too now. And all of a sudden he like yours better than mine. You come by me to buy avocado and
You feel like other cultures don't really do that too
they
much.
don't.
Yeah, I feel
Let me tell you something. Last year,
feel you.
in Caribbean Music Awards, Asa Banton, the Booyah boss, Right? If you don't know, Google him.
Yeah.
Bouillon boss. My boy does shell down parties. Let me tell you something. What? When he done his only napkin. All over the place, right?
Yeah.
Powder, badness. He said he collected an award. And he said that bouillon was a part of soca.
Of course it is.
And wait a minute. You know, they went down his throat.
Who went on the shoot?
His own people.
Or the bouillon people?
Dominicans.
Because the whole and on to the bouillon.
They
Them
said
thing.
no.
Yeah.
Bouillon is its own genre.
Chee.
Bouillon is its own genre. I have an interview coming up with him too. And Trilogy where we talk about that. You understand what I'm saying? Because now that's the thing. We are constantly loving the vibe that soca brings. We are constantly growing and emulating what soca can do. And then we want to run away from it. It is unacceptable. And so everyone else can make their version and be like a dashing bush in the rain. And all them different things. But you telling me that in my own country, Trinidad and Tobago, we have a problem that I had to come all the way from where I live in to come here to sit down on your chair outside
In Arima.
to defend soca.
You dig?
And soca don't pay me. And soca paying all you.
Right.
And all you gain on so. So all you don't like voice then. All you ain't like Marshall. What about Kimber? All you ain't like he. All you ain't even like young brother. Because I don't care what he say. Anybody can say there's the king of steam and the king of wherever. It's soca. It's Trinidad. The identification is
Calypso.
from here. Man, listen to me. This is we thing.
It's we thing.
We are so dynamic because of what we have. And yet we still want to assimilate and dilute our culture. And men on the road just can't pull their crate and just play soca. Baby, you want to play dancehall? Them don't know your
And
name.
do some research too, because half of them don't know the music. I tell you.
Yeah, well then we have an ignorance problem because the power that the DJs and the mic man wield, if ignorance is teaching ignorance, we will have an ignorant generation. I'm saying, can we level up? Can we level up? So for all the
Please.
trolls online who want to defend whatever side they're defending, right? That is not soca
Yeah, but
side.
be honest with you.
Be better.
Plenty of them defending that shit, like what you say there, because they are friends with Kevin X.
And I get it.
A lot of them my friends too. You know,
It's okay.
disrespect. You know, but I understand what is going. Because I know if it was anybody else that did say what you say, people would have, you know, but it's Kevin X. Kevin X is a man. You know, yeah. You have to big up Kevin X. He's a man been on the ground. He does rock the party them. The people them
I
like
don't know Kevin X.
Yeah, you know, the people them rate Kevin X, you know.
Yeah.
So obviously you went to somebody there that is like a favorite on the island now, when it comes to
So then
DJ.
play the favorite
Yeah,
music
you
of the
know.
island.
So-
Play the soca, represent for the culture. Because it could have been anybody, right?
She said, what you doing? What you doing?
Where's that one? Where's that scene, bro? Where's run the soca? Are you a guardian of soca? And 100%, because listen to me, sometimes you gotta be all or nothing. It's like if you're in a gang, there's a gang. It's all are we. It's all are we versus everybody. It's soca or nothing.
And also too, a lot of people in the soca industry like to talk this talk like if they really want to see soca do better. But are you willing to really do what it takes? It takes a lot of work to take soca to the top now, boy.
And it takes us all working together.
Yeah,
you know,
a lot of
but
unity.
if folks don't understand anything, understand this, because people, you know, maybe money just talk and bullshit does work, right? But understand this. Please send me a booking for Reggae Sumfest. I will buy you a drink. I'll pay for your hotel. Please send me a booking when you're on the reggae cruise, right? Please send me a booking when you end up on summer stage.
But the thing is, right, Kevin X is not a soca DJ, right?
Okay.
And?
I don't know him.
Nah.
I don't know
So
him.
in that regard, is he still responsible? Because
well,
he's not soca
well,
DJ.
let me ask you a question.
He's just a DJ.
When he gets hired,
Yeah.
right? Is it soca affiliated? Is really the question. When you get hired
He's
to
hired
travel,
all parties.
do you? But outside of Trinidad. Wait a minute. Outside of Trinidad.
Yeah.
Outside of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
If a DJ, let's not single him out, right? Because we are not targeting him. And like I said, I don't even know him, right?
No, but I was just saying that, like,
any DJ,
yeah.
if you are getting a booking outside of Trinidad and Tobago, is it soca affiliated? If the answer is
Right.
yes,
Yeah.
then you are responsible. If the answer is
Right.
no, which is not, it is yes, you are not responsible. But you're still responsible because you're a Trini. And this is our culture.
Especially if you're in the carnival too.
I mean, carnival is about soca.
Like if you get booked for a dancehall party, you get booked for a dancehall.
Yeah, but that's not happening
Or if you
outside of
get booked for a
Trinidad.
party outside the carnival.
It's, I mean, like, understand the mechanics of the money here. Follow the money.
Yeah. I been with you, like if I in a fete and they play dancehall, I gonna be happy, right? Like just generally I gonna hear one of my favorite songs and be like, whoa, I love dancehall, right? But I agree with you.
I like Afrobeats.
I
like-
personally find like it shouldn't have no dancehall in the carnival.
When you on the road,
and if all they playing dancehall,
when you in the party, when
had
you
to
in the
be
season,
Trinidad or Zest. Can you play no vibes, cartel?
you have to run the
in
local
Bomba-clad carnival.
because the zest and the Trinidad,
The Trinidad.
is, and the steam
You know that
is,
small segment, you know, you hype up the crowd, the Trinidad energy, and you go back to the soca again. You
but
know?
let's be real.
I
Let me ask you a
agree.
question.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, right? Even with the Trinidad, which came out of the resistance from either not being in the soca fraternity or not being in the dancehall fraternity, right? Why my boy Swanee, right? Or even Young Brother or my girl Lady Lava, I want to see them on Reggae Sumfest.
True.
Because the music and the song that they bring is a fusion and it touches people. Let me be real.
But the
Cardi B
Jamaican
real
and
love down Lady Lava.
Jamaica, as you say, the whole and onto the culture. When
Listen.
they say reggae songfest, them only want to see yard man in them face, brother.
So
them
then
don't care who
what
trending
is
in
our
Guyana,
problem?
in Trinidad, in Dominica. Them know what
They
going
don't care
on
because they
here.
don't have to care. But watch me. Let me bring you another perspective, KG, right? When a Jamaican artist is unable to get his visa to travel to the
Look where you
UK
going now.
or to the US,
Lord Father.
where do they eat?
Oh God.
Men eating up in Trinidad.
Of
Men
course.
making churn in Trinidad.
But if it's a Jamaican artist and Trinidad don't love you, half the time your career flop, bro.
You have nothing.
It have
You have nothing.
no big Jamaican artists internationally that Trinidad people just sleep on.
Listen,
that don't happen.
love them to the
We
point.
just say what bad.
Especially nowadays.
We just send them
Beanie
to the
Man.
moon, boy.
Right? I made a video about Beanie Man when Beanie Man talk about even dog do he doubles, right?
Oh God.
I went to my girlfriend's restaurant. Her dad has been making doubles for 40 years. He built his family legacy on that. She then retired him, moved to the US and opened up a restaurant. Moved she family, you know. She was already living there. She opened up a restaurant. Legacy. She went to school on that, on doubles. So you didn't just talk about doubles, bro, a food. You spoke about a legacy. So I had to break that down.
But you see how we hold on to that one. We love it doubles bad.
Yeah, but guess what?
Really?
But before he get his visa,
Yeah.
and before you had a platform to go on, you were simmering in Trinidad.
Of course.
3-4 times a year. Every
Of
time you come
course.
here, you're making money.
Of course.
Okay, more money than in
The man
Jamaica.
was like Jesus Christ in my house.
Come on. So what are we talking about?
Yeah.
There is a lack of reciprocation. There is a lack of respect, not by all artists, by some of them, not by all, because Vibes already doubles. You understand what I'm saying?
Vibes the
But
sweet
who
woman.
need to be begging for that?
Vibes break we had, boy. Oh
The
God,
promoter did
boy.
that.
Oh God, vibes. He could have come still, man. Oh God, vibes. As you know, say this, we boy.
And then Vibes
We
say he
hold on that
he
guy's
actually
effort.
told the promoter, boy, during Carnival, you bringing me, boy? What kind of thing is that?
Benty had 900,000 already, right?
Bro, let me tell you something.
If you had 900,000 already, cartel, you could have come and give
contract
me
is a
that thing.
contract. Where the rest
You
of my
don't want to
money?
hear that, boy.
You know who I want
You
to see at
break my heart, boy,
$900?
cartel, boy.
$900,000. I want to see Marshall calling that price. I want Bungie to call that price. I want Lero to call that price. I want Kimba
900K
Sozano.
US.
I want Orlando Octave. I want these fellas and them, okay, to be able to call that price and men don't flinch and say, where's that one? Run up on stage for we now. Just give me a little one song now. Right? Because we want to build a vibe that we don't want the pulse of the vibe. You understand what I'm saying? You got to be a guardian of soca or nothing else.
Boy, I had to be a guardian of soca, boy.
Or nothing else.
Jeez.
You gotta be that first. Like how you is first a man, or how you is first a child of God.
You had to be you.
That is how you had to be. You had to be like, this is
Trini.
in my blood. I am from Trinidad and Tobago, red, white, and blue, pouring through my veins. Ain't nothing better than that. I am who I am by eating doubles, I eating pilau, eating curry, unification. There's no other island like ours that have a 50-50 racial percentage like we have. The unity in this country. Don't mind what has happened around election. I'm talking about what we bring It's so unique and diverse that nobody else can have it.
It's true.
And we be acting up.
It's true.
And at the center, at the pulse of that is our music. It's our essence. So all you want to fight for other people thing? You have food in your house and you want to quarrel with the neighbor? You're a woman here and you with the neighbor wife. How that making sense?
This episode is also sponsored by Big Boss Bullies. If you're looking for top quality companions, check out Big Boss Bullies 868. Go check out their page right now. You know, I'm a dog man. I love my dogs, but I love quality companions. So if you're really looking for that quality bully, go and check out Big Boss Bullies 868. You know the thing go. Boom.
You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
In the middle of the night, me up in your house.
That's a real thing.
In your house. And don't even say that our music is not diverse because we have everything from Drink Water and Mind Your Business that went viral. Okay, viral. Where my little American send them talking about Drink Water and Mind Your Business. Okay, to people who have range in music that could compete with any artist out there. I say Destra could compete with Beyonce on that vocals. Okay, Kes, how you mean? Some of the sweetest artists in the world belong to us. Nobody can match Marshall's energy or Marshall's desire and growth for the intellectualization of our culture and the depth that he will go, or that anything he does, he will perfect it and he will win it. Okay, and he had to check out all these boxes because he is a big fish in a small pond that don't even want to uplift the genre that he has fought so hard to build. How much sleepless nights, how much sweat, how much buffy had about people to get the perfection that our craft desires. But you will play a song for a man who will say something like dance like a ballerina. And we all trying to figure out, how do you do that? How do you whine like a ballerina? We try to figure out. I asked my niece that the other day. She said she don't know either, but they like the beat.
Oh,
but the craftsmanship in which we put forward for our music, we are not appreciating. And I like the song too, don't get me wrong, but you know what I like more?
Your own thing.
I like Bungie more. I like Fayan more.
No, I feel it.
You understand what I'm saying? I like Lero more.
Yeah.
I like us more. And I can't be the only person who like us more. So men want to over there and fight and talk about how dancehall have a place. Baby, go on tell that to Jamaica. Because you have no bookings if you don't have a carnival.
For real.
It is the
You're
ecosystem.
mashing up your own house, bro.
The
mashing
ecosystem
up
that
your
we are
own house,
sharing,
bro.
we are diluting the funds,
Yeah.
right? When we are supposed to be really mentoring. And see, now there's a responsibility, not just on DJs, but on artists as well too. So I broached the question as well too. How are we and who are we mentoring in the space as well, right? So how are we as artists who have, you know, a repertoire, 8, 9, 10 years in the game? We have to know how to spot talent and bring them forward too.
That is what I'm saying.
Right?
Yeah.
We had to bring them forward as well too.
That
We
is
had
a
to show men
necessity.
the ropes on how to make music, how to make songs, right? We
correct.
can't be, you know, separationalist in that way. So there's so many elements to making cultural unity something that's one that we can learn from other cultures, right? But it
course.
doesn't start with the infiltration of another culture without. It doesn't start with cultural. I want you to remember that word, DJs. It is called cultural substitution. It is a form. Okay, it is a form of gatekeeping. It is a form of music suppression. When you say that you don't have enough music to play, or that the crowd bored and they want to hear something, because I guarantee you, if Marshall did run out, everybody get life.
Right.
The so-called life. But you want to feel like another culture within your culture. You want to feel how when you look at the videos with these other guys in other places, even like when you look at Drake and these American people, you want to feel that vibe, but within your culture.
In your culture.
You can't have that if you're not running that soca.
Yeah, what the boop, 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 boop. It's a real thing, but it's a sad thing
And
too.
girl don't wine sweet unless it's soca. You ever see a girl wine sweet like a friggin' a gunman passa? It don't work, so it's only choreography on the road. It's a friggin' street it's cosplay. It's cosplay on the road, right? Because when you go to carnival in Jamaica, it was choreography. I know no choreographer dancer, and leave that for other people. Girl want wine and bend over and have a good time and feel sweet. Men want to see that sexiness. And the thing is, there is a vulgarity within our culture that is also respected and normalized, where people aren't getting harassed Those are the elements, right? That erotic type of behavior that is a sense of freedom that folks want to emulate, calling it carnival, but with their music. Soca is a respectful genre. It is a teachable genre. When Orlando come out with his music, he teaching about something, and it is respectful. Marshall does the same too, but he also bring rhythms and vibes, and he coins you phrase like Mr. Fett, and we wanna party, right? So there is a lot happening within the music that it touches all types of vibes and energies. You could listen to soca music when you sad, when you happy, your man leave you, he come back, he have real money or you don't have no money. Every single time. You understand what I'm saying? We have to love us. Love us first.
But I think that is where it comes back down to, you know, like teaching us too. Because a lot of youths, it's so sad, eh? You ask them so many different questions about the culture. They don't know now, you know?
Yeah.
And even though like I like the dance on, like the thing,
Yeah.
to me, like, you had to have some sense, because when we was growing up, we used to listen to all the Buju Banton and
Everything.
the Beanie Man and everything.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But we didn't know we David Brothers.
We
and
sure
we
did
didn't
know
know
Sparrow.
and we
I
know
left
we
home and
Crow.
Sparrow was played in my house.
But up to this day, I just still go on YouTube and watch Crow and them in
Rockets.
and be like, "Dog, this is
Yes.
this art form. It's
Yes,
so,
Super Blue.
it's so rich. It's so strong. You know.
Yeah.
The problem is, as you say, the lack of, you know, now, boy.
The lack of ability
so many different
to
things,
intellectualize our culture and to understand where the culture
Right.
come from. And so to every DJ and every artist and every promoter and every sound engineer and everyone who is a part of the ecosystem, the journalists, the media people just like myself, the content creators, the bloggers, the vloggers, the groupies, the limers, you owe it to yourself to love on your culture. Because eventually if you keep doing it, there wouldn't be none.
And you know, right? Like how we having this conversation here, a lot of people would look at this and I know they're going and enjoy it, you know, and be like, I learned so much, you know, like this might actually open their mind a little more now and they might want to love their culture, right? You know, if the artists do the same thing like what we do in here, come on platforms and be vulnerable and be real
Yeah.
and be honest, you know how much that and all could do for the industry on a whole.
But can I tell you something? Sometimes there are not platforms for them to be vulnerable and honest.
True.
For instance, I just had an interview with Nadia Batson. I went to a particular event just for Nadia. I reached out to her management. I wanted to talk to her because when I look at Nadia, I see someone who is super talented, who is ever evolving, who writes her own music and writes for others, and sometimes is very overlooked and marginalized.
Of course.
I've been to fests that Nadia had and had hardly anybody.
True.
And then I went to our next fete and had everybody, right? And so sometimes, you know, she kind of has a seesaw. And when I interviewed her after her performance, that's what I asked her, soon to air. That's what I talked to her about. So it also takes people to ask those questions. You know, in February, I asked Patrice, are you okay? You know, nobody had asked Patrice if she was okay.
Of course, because they are scared.
Everybody just asking Patrice about she song
more
and she
music.
music and then
I
watching she
sure, boy.
with sad eyes. But
Wow.
nobody said, Patrice, are you okay?
Are you okay?
You understand what I'm
A
saying?
honest question.
Correct. Mr. Killer cut off his hair. You understand?
Yeah.
Anybody ask Mr. Killer
Why
why?
you cut your hair?
What happening? We didn't even know the man could cut, and the man one of the best entertainers we've ever seen. When he put up that leg, bro, what? What? When Mr. Killer put up that leg, I started to go toot, 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 toot. I mean, people get excited, right? But do we ever stop to really understand and really talk to these artists and find out who they are? Trinidad Killer, I've seen so many times in the US, and you know he goes through a lot for all the mouth he have.
Oh God, nobody
The
perfect.
man is a big softy.
Yeah.
He goes through a lot, but he's constantly building from strength to strength, and you can't deny the man have some power when he drop a song. You know what I'm saying? It cannot be
Trinidad
suppressed.
Killer, boy.
But who is taking the time to communicate with these artists, right? And so this is also what I'm taking the time to do. I don't have to do this.
I'm telling you.
2 months ago, I was in China. A month after, actually about a week after that, I was in Ethiopia at an environmental global summit for African leaders, where CARICOM leaders were as well too. I am in spaces where, you know, it is more than entertainment.
True.
Right? But that doesn't mean that my country and even our culture in the region It's not that. Right now, I'm a brand ambassador for St. Martin Carnival with a private group. You think when I go there, I'm going to be talking about pushing our artists? I'm going to be talking about pushing their artists.
Correct.
I'm going to be elevating their artists. I'm going to find who their people is.
It's
And
bigger
when
than
I
just,
come back
you
here,
don't
I'm
know.
going to be talking about
Correct.
it. But what I'm saying is, baby, if you're in Trinidad and Tobago, strictly local.
Definitely.
People want to be us. And you don't want to be you? How that making sense? That's
real
not
thing?
making sense.
Is that a real thing?
It's a real thing, you know. And so I hope that I have converted you, that I have delivered you, that you are now in the guardianship. Tell me a size, I'll send you a T-shirt.
Yeah, we definitely did. You teach me that my culture is my culture, and I can't run from who I am, right? A lot of times in the show, I would say certain things, and it may come off a little disrespectful.
Okay.
And it might do more damage
Yeah.
than probably positive.
Right.
I might think it probably doing something, but when I really think about
It's
it,
agitating.
it damaging my people. It
Absolutely.
probably damaging, you know, I know how to explain, but
It's shining a bad light as opposed
Right.
to amplifying the topic. What it's doing is it's making it look like the elements and the people that's a part of the culture are not educated enough to sustain it. Right?
so
That they are
I
not
should
able.
use my platform
Absolutely. To amplify and to
always,
educate.
especially when it comes to my people.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's not
That
to
is
make
what
them
I'm
look
learning
bad.
tonight.
That's why, and I will say right here on this platform. So, like, I know that these men may have felt like I targeted them,
Right.
right? But they are not targeted. As a matter of fact, I like these guys. I don't know them, but I know them now,
Yeah.
and I like y'all. I saw Akim the other day. I said, "Hey, what's up?" He ain't want to talk to me, but
You want to talk?
well, he said hi.
Hey,
I even
Akim,
offered him
yeah, totin', boy.
I even offered him an opportunity to come back and talk to me, right? But I understand that sometimes it's hard to articulate the culture, right? So I am not using that against you, right? What I am though is I would like you now to learn something and be better. Not because I say so, but because what pays you say so. Because this pays you all. You know what I'm saying? This I doing all your service for free. Just over the love of me and the culture and God. You know what I'm saying? Welcome on to the land of Trinity to the bone. You know what I'm saying? So
Damn.
I'm doing this for the love. But you all do this for the love and the money.
And the cloud.
So make sure that the money, and sometimes for that too, but make sure that that works. So everybody who says, even though I'm doing this for views, baby, I don't need Meta to run me a check. I could take the check though. But I don't need Meta to run me a check because I'm very successful in all the things that I do. Check out all my platforms. You'll
And
know.
like, if you really wanted that check, we didn't have to talk about soca. We didn't have to talk about industry.
Well,
you know, my thing you have to
listen.
talk about to make money out here.
I mean, I
I
don't,
could
I
say
don't
the
need to talk about
wildest-
I don't need to talk about anything. I have okay, but can I just plug my businesses? First of all, Carnival Bosses, which is the ultimate carnival concierge service. We just launched in Tobago, and we'll be there for Trinidad Carnival as well too, with the top makeup artist Signature Steel, my juicy girl lips, which everybody knows me for with my glitter lips, baby. Okay, everybody loves them, and baby, we are clocking money. And of course, I just went to China, so Caribbean Beauty Bar Retail. You can find us in Pennywise, Starlink, and of course anywhere else that sells beauty products, nails, hair. Baby, I'm out there making money, and I have multiple businesses where I run production studios and I do documentary films, which is why you would see me in places like Senegal and Mauritania and Kenya. I actually leave Carnival this year, went to Africa and came back to Carnival. I said, no, baby, I gotta come back because I gotta be on that road. Okay, so I outside.
Yeah.
I outside.
Yeah.
I on a plane every 2 months. As a matter of fact, I on a plane so much, the movies don't change. Okay? Because I'm on the plane, I've seen all the movies.
You
If
see,
you
you know
know
what?
what I'm saying, traveling 16, 18 hours. So it
man.
is about the love. It's not about the floss. It's not about the flex. It is about the love. Because, baby, I party internationally. Have you ever partied in Senegal?
Never.
Baby, the party don't start until
Damn.
3 a.m. And the
Senegal
cases of
party.
champagne. The cases of champagne comes out. But do you know who I saw in Senegal?
Senegal.
You know who I saw in Senegal?
Akon.
Anthony B.
I say Akon.
I saw Anthony B. You know,
Big up
from
Anthony B, boy.
Big up Anthony B.
Hey,
You
man,
know who I
man.
want to see in Senegal?
New general.
You know who I want to see in Senegal?
Who?
I want to see Lero.
Yeah, what's here?
I want to see Marshall. I want to see Bungie.
Oh, in that
I
way,
want to see
yeah.
Nyla. Well, right now, Nyla in South Africa, my girl doing it. And every time I
big
talk
up
to
Nyla.
Nyla, let me tell you something.
Yeah, big up
Let me
Nyla.
tell you something. And it's have artists who does run for me, all the management, all you know who all
Yeah,
it is.
no
But let me
fighting
tell you
Nyla,
something.
Shredder.
Let me tell you something. They want to run. But let me tell you, the artists who you see appear on that tempo platform, rate them. Rate them. Because when they come with the courage of the culture, the best interest of the culture. They don't shy away.
True.
Because they don't know what to
They step
say.
to the forefront.
They come. When
They
I
are
talk to
guardians of
Nyla, it's
soca.
love. They are guardians of soca.
Correct.
Nadia, guardian of
Step
soca.
up to the plate.
Destra, Marshall, Bungie, Fayan.
Stand up on it.
Lero. Every time Lero is always sexiest man in soca.
Oh, God.
Always, always, always there. And they know how to represent themselves. Even men like Junior Lee, and you know I know Junior Lee a long time.
Yeah, big up Junior Lee, boy.
Long time I know Junior Lee, you know.
Yeah.
We went Guadeloupe together, you know.
Right.
When he was like doing like a little film assistant thing, you know.
Yeah,
I know him a long
Come
time.
from far, he come from far.
Listen to me.
Yeah,
And
work
he
hard.
don't shy away. Mikal Teja.
Yeah, big
Okay,
up Teja.
I'm a man who holding up the industry
the
sometimes
culture.
almost
Yes,
by
he
one
is,
hand,
he is,
writing
he is,
songs
he
for men who
is, he
every
is,
year
he
have a
is.
hit because I'm Mikal, you
He
know.
is putting in the work too to hold it up. He
Hey!
just holding it up, you know. He putting in that work to make
Let me tell
sure
you
that he hold it
something. He
up, you know. Big
is
up
a
Teja,
guardian
boy.
of soca. He's a soca guardian.
Big up Teja.
So when I tell you that when you see someone on my mic, you know that they are a guardian of soca.
Yeah.
And for the ones who shine away, read, educate, understand. Look at who is great in the space and understand why they're great. I also want to big up Mohammed from Freetown Collective.
Big up Mohammed, boy.
You understand what I'm saying?
All the time,
Who does
man.
not shy away, who constantly
Uh-huh.
says to me, Jay, you are an important voice in this space. You know, when I finish interviewing an artist always says to me, every single time, that was a good interview. Kes, oh God, every time, that was a good interview.
Of course, no,
Because it is different than what is your favorite food and what color you like.
I look at your stuff too. I look at your stuff. I actually, I was very impressed. Like, you're sharp. You're sharp. You ain't playing. You're coming.
It's the doubles and Sahina.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you have anything that you want to leave with the people before we wrap up?
What do I want to leave with
How
the
long we
people?
going to Chinese?
I'll be almost on 2 hours.
Oh, cool. See what I tell you. See what I tell you. I know we don't do
Yeah.
that. Easy.
What I want to say to the people, I am me. I love soca. I will not stop. I know it's a male-dominated space. I want to implore every content creator and every blogger who comes behind the scenes and interviews interview artists to do more research and be more culturally relevant and understand that the ecosystem relies on the voice of the broadcasters to make sure that who we are gets out, our brand, our messaging, right? We have to understand that who we are is important and that we matter.
Yep.
Right? And that when I do it for Marshall. I do it because Marshall has paved the way in so many ways.
What do you mean you do
And
it for Marshall?
I do it for Marshall because
No, what do you mean you do like with?
what do? I represent the culture and talk about soca.
But what do you mean you do it
because
for Marshall?
I do it for him because everything that I do elevates the culture. That he built, that Bungie built, that Fayan built, that Rashoti I built, that Sparrow, that Shadow. And so as a part of that elite ecosystem, I have to bring elite representation. Okay? So how I put forward myself and my craft and my culture is a representation of the standard that has been built by the stalwarts. Okay? I am not comparing myself to lowest. I'm going for the highest. So the representation is there so that anyone who encounters understand that there is an elite way that we represent. So they know there's JLova, international cultural journalist. There's Marshall Montano. There's Kes. There are DJs who are on, like DJ Young Chow, right, who is on a certain level. There's KG, who is amplifying through a podcast, right, that is not about bacchanalists and it's not just talking about sexualization.
People think that what about now.
Well, they think I'm a
I'm not
bacchanalist
going to
too.
say people go see me and you sit down here and
They
they go
say,
say,
right, well,
it's
bacchanal.
bacchanal. But we just have an honest
baby,
conversation.
if they want bacchanal, I could drop some interviews for them and they'll see bacchanal, but I will never do it. And I will never call names of
I
certain
wish
people
you
or
did
the
it.
things that I
wish you
see
did. I
behind
I
signs.
enjoy your little bacchanal content.
I
like when you come at the head top. I like it.
It have so much more, but I wouldn't do it because because remember what we just talked about. It is about amplifying the culture,
course,
and
yeah.
it is not about tearing it down. And sometimes you interview somebody and they're having a bad day, or they're having a bad season, and it comes across like that, and they would say certain things about other people that
So why
is not the
you
right
release the
thing.
Akeem 5.01? You didn't find out?
Well, no, because the thing about that interview was that I didn't think it was a bacchanal interview.
Or you just...
I remember I asked questions and he answered it,
Yeah.
right? So I thought that was interesting.
So it have interviews where you actually arguing with the artist then?
No, I'm not arguing with them. I have interviews where
The ones I didn't release?
people are saying things that I think is going to create a problem.
So you didn't think about Akeem say...
Well, because he didn't talk about anything. Now listen,
He said nothing Orlando song.
if you think Akeem was bad, you see,
Yeah.
I know a man like Orlando Active could handle himself.
Right.
But have some men here who will come at you in a different way. So when an artist says something about another artist, or they say something out of anger or place of hurt, or you know that they ain't really mature in that space yet,
Right.
it creates a friction, and that is not what I want to create. I don't want that kind of bacchanal. You think I want my phone just blowing up over garbage? I don't want that. I want proper communication and discord. Like right now, what's happening now? I will say this honestly. I was not going to release that video where I approached the mic man.
You wasn't going to do it?
I wasn't. I thought about it long and hard. No, I thought about it, right? Because the video I did release was about the Guardians of Soca.
Yeah,
When I heard the dancehall, right? But then I felt like I also acted. So I made a video, and that is a form of action. But what happened was I was real hurt. I'm going to be honest with you, from a deep, deep, deep place in my heart. You saw it in my face, in my eyes. When I heard dancehall, and I had been building Tobago, talking about Tobagonian artists, not hearing them on the road.
True.
It was personal.
Yeah,
It is personal. So I felt that in the deepest part of my spirit.
like
And I
well
said,
doing.
who is this person who think it's okay to say, I am going to break the rules? What type of power do you think you have to destabilize our culture? To destabilize an ecosystem that pays you? Who are you?
Wow.
And then I saw who he was because of what he said to me after, his response, right? Even if I was an assertive way or very direct in talking to you, that's fine. I think he can respond however he responded. But he said, I don't care.
That what you said?
He said, I don't care.
Is he words, boy? Is he words?
And I said, and it was DJ Striker who actually came and was like, and I didn't even recognize DJ Striker at the time because I'm not a groupie. I am about the culture. So I'm not really, I'm not making DJs the center of it, but DJs are the center of it.
Right.
Because
Especially
they play the
come to
music.
soca.
They are the guardians who carry the music, who carry the songs, who allow the rhythm on the road to be played. And so that really hurt.
Yeah.
That you would marginalize, you and any other DJ and mic man that think it is okay from any perspective to play music other than soca or even zest. Our music, our culture, our calypso on the road, the iron and the steel. You cannot play iron and a steel to dance like a ballerina. That's we think. There's something that happens when you hear that steel pan. There's something that happens when you hear that iron.
Yep.
There's something that transforms you when you hear those songs. And you want to substitute that for something that is not going to be remembered in 10 years. That is a disrespect to everything that Marshall has done. To Bungie, to Fayan, to Rashoti I, to Sparrow, to Lord Kitchener, to everyone who has paved the way. That is a disrespect for them. That is a slap in their face. And that is you diluting the culture and diluting the money. And it will eventually trickle down to you. So when you think your pay every month is going to be guaranteed, well, it's only for you, but what about the next generations to come? Okay? And until all you get hired by Reggae Sumfest, don't at me.
No, actually.
Because I too own way. They don't want me in their party. You understand what I'm saying? They don't want me there.
Oh,
But all the
God.
artists, entourage, and all these DJs, you follow a soca artist. You follow a soca artist. You are affiliated with a soca artist. But you want to play an artist who don't know your name? That song, mad. The masses don't know you. You play an artist who don't know your name. But Voice knows your name. Marshall knows your name. Lero knows your name. Juby know your name. Verse know your name. Kidani know your name. But Vibes don't know your name.
You didn't care about all this.
Spice don't know your name.
didn't care.
Love them. But do they know you? But they will if you amplify the culture. If you
Who
make
you
sure
are, yeah,
that the
who you
Mecca
are.
stays the Mecca.
Yeah.
Then when Davido come, he gonna know your name. Now I'm gonna give you another argument. There's a conversation that says when Marshall has his shows, he brings other artists. But do you know what he does? He make a song with them. He make a song with them, and Marshall is always gonna be the hottest act. Okay? Always gonna be the hottest act. He always gonna be the one you come to see. Marshall could bring nobody, but his show will be sold out.
Right.
What he does is he brings you another level. So he brings the Arya Star, he brings the Davido, he bring in the Boys to Men, not to dilute the culture, but to help amplify and find synergies to create music so that they can take back
Oh, so you're saying that he not just bring in an artist.
to build numbers. Marshall don't need to build numbers.
He bridging the gap.
He is also allowing them to learn something, to create music with him, to then take back and amplify. When he did Ashanti, Ashanti will forever be able to talk about soca. Everybody knows Ashanti made a soca song.
Yeah, he bring Asian.
Come
And
on,
he
Davido, he did a video.
She's pretending her.
I was able to interview Davido in Trinidad.
spitting
I
facts.
didn't have to go Africa for it. I could, but I didn't. I got him right here in Trinidad. I talked to him. I was right next to his tent. Right? I was able to interview him. He was able to tell me how much he loves the food of our islands and the places that he has been. And what he feels about our cuisine and our vibe. And then he went on the beach and make a whole video with Marshall, which is now part of his repertoire. So when you search Davido with all his millions and millions and millions of views, you will pop up eventually to Marshall and Davido. That is what Marshall is doing. That's the level that he is on. Okay? So it's not about Marshall just bringing out artists and so it's okay.
It's not the
He's
same
bringing
as
it for a reason.
Playing the dance.
Marshall doesn't do anything unintentionally.
Right.
He is intentional about his guardianship of soca. He's intentional about his growth. So is Bungie. So is so many other artists who you see make it. That's the difference between the artists who make it and the ones who are still trying to make it. It is the intentionality about the art form.
True.
Okay? So I would say
True.
to every single DJ, when you become more intentional, and every artist, you
You might
become
see
more
your way more.
intentional. When you become more intentional, then guess what? Eventually, one day, you will be at a Reggae Sumfest because the undeniability of our music and the viability will be known.
A lot of them confused.
Well, I hope they get unconfused after today.
Yeah, they have to.
Stop playing around with your money, with your culture.
Eh? Is that ready? Alright, so
Well, the conversation almost over. I'll see all you online. I'll see you all in the shows. Anybody who said don't talk to me, that's because you're not ready to have this conversation. And maybe you're not worthy of standing next to me holding a mic, amplifying a culture that will no longer exist to you. Because every single day, my money is made and it is not in colors.
I would think I tell them anything I give.
That's it.
Yeah, you're nothing else to tell them. Pick up yourself all the time. Give them your handles now. Tell them where to
Yo,
find
at
you.
I am JLova, IAMJLOVA. You'll have me outside turning up, but I'm an international culture journalist, traveled all around the world, representing for the big bad station, Tempo Networks. And please, love soca.
Love
Like you love that man that don't like you.
Oh, God. Well, yeah, we going. Boom!